Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's gonna be a nice chill video. Grab a mat, grab a cup of tea, grab your water bottle and come and just do a nice full body stretch with me. We're just gonna do everything, seriously. We're gonna do some lower body stretching for our splits. We're gonna do some upper body stuff, just everything. It's been such a long time since I've done a stretching video, and I know that everyone loves these probably the most, like they're some of my most watched videos, so it's time to do another stretching video because it's been quite some time, I've realized, since I've done the last one. So let's get straight into it, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. It would mean the world if you hit that subscribe button if you enjoy this kind of content, so you can see more just like this. And if you do come to me for handstand content, I have a free handstand guide that you can find down in the description below. So click that link, grab that free handstand guide, and then join me for a nice stretch. Let's go. So today we're going to work down our body. So we're going to start off with our neck. So leaning over to one side, going to the other. To make this stretch a bit more intense, you can straighten that arm down to the side and then pull it towards the ground. Switch over to the other side, pulling that arm down to the ground. And now we're going to do little circles, so rolling it forwards, coming around to the side and to the back. Just nice, slow, gentle circles. And then round the other way. And now we're going to look over to the side, and then we're going to drop our head down, and we're going to do these little movements looking up and down. You can also do little sideways ones if you find that if that gets a sore point for you. And then over to the other side. The point with this stretching is you kind of want to find what feels sore and just stretch into that and hopefully make it feel a bit better and to stretch it out. Ugh, words today. Words! I've been filming a lot recently, so just don't mind me and my stumbly words, because something very exciting is coming very soon. I will release. Okay, next we're going to do some shoulder rolls, rolling them back, bringing them almost up to the ears. And then we're going to go forwards. I'm curious, what do you guys want to see more of on my channel? Send me some suggestions down in the comments below. Okay, next we're going to do a nice deltoid stretch. Ooh, that is sore today. Make sure you drop that shoulder down away from your face. Ooh, yeah. Sore. And then swapping over to the other side. Oh. It's weird when you find things are sore that you didn't realize were sore. Ooh. You can add a bit of movement into these as well if you want. Oh. And then we're going to do a tricep stretch. So over you, grabbing that elbow and bringing it over. And then swapping sides. You can add a little bit of a side bend into this one as well. It's a bit easier when you're standing up though, rather than sitting down. Oh, and relax. Let's do some little swings back and forward. Just get some nice movement in. Alright, next we're going to do some arm circles forward and back. And then the other side. Hoping I don't whack the mirror. And then the other way. Next we're going to stand up and we're going to move down to our hips. So we're going to do some nice big circles. And then going the other way. And then we're going to come over to one side. Do a nice side bend stretch. And you can assist this by having your hand on your knee. And then over to the other side. Going to drop down to that foot and holding on to it with that opposite arm, we can lean into this side and get a bit of a stretch through our lats. You can do little rocks here as well, which feel really nice if you tight through your lats. And then coming into the middle, we're going to do a little pulses. And then over onto the other side, into that lat stretch. And then coming up and we're going to bend our knees out to the side. We can support ourselves by putting our hands on our quads. For this one, make sure you're really tucking that pelvis under. Ooh, and not fall over. What we can do with this one is we can drop one shoulder forward. Oh, something cracked. And we can stretch out that back as well. You might find that your back cracks in this position. And then coming back to the middle, and we can really use those hands to push our legs out. We can also come down onto our knees if you're a bit more flexible. And then coming out. And then from here, we're going to drop down over to one side, get a bit of a stretch through our ankles and our Achilles. You might find that you need to hold on to something if your Achilles aren't that flexible. Ooh, this feels good. And then swapping over to the other side. Alright, first we're going to do some little hip swivels. We're going to pop our legs out in front of us and we're just going to drop them to one side. We're going to drop them to the other side. Swapping back over. And then over to the other side again. And then we're going to come into our pancake. Just going to go into a nice easy position for now. We're not going to push it too far. And we're just going to lean over to each side. Start to open up those hips. Then we're going to fold over to one side. You can flex your foot if you want a bit more of a hamstring stretch. And then over to the other side. Then we're going to come up and we're going to do a side bend over to one side. If you can reach that foot, amazing. And that's right, if you can't. I am definitely a bit sore today. I'm definitely a bit tight today. And then swapping over to the other side. Next we're going to come up and then we're just going to walk our hands out as far as we can get them. Sometimes I like to do little half circles here just to help with my hips. With slightly more intense stretches, make sure you really breathe through the discomfort. And also another great thing to note is the difference between discomfort and pain when you're doing this kind of thing. Knowing that some things will be uncomfortable, but then also knowing when something is painful is a really important distinction to make when you're stretching. And coming up. All right, next we're going to jump up into a lunge position. And we're just going to drop that hip down to the ground and make sure that foot is underneath our knee. Really trying to push that hip forward and keeping them nice and square. Next, we're going to straighten that front leg and come into the hamstring stretch here. And flexing that foot. I like to do nerve gliding, which is literally just pointing and flexing your foot. I find that that really helps because I usually get quite tight hamstrings. And then you can also do a bit of PNF as well, where you resist and push the ground away with that foot and then relax into it. Making sure you're keeping your back nice and straight when you're doing this one too. You're gonna come up now. Woo! And up over. And we're gonna bring that back leg up. I'm going to really think about tucking that hip under and get a nice quad stretch here. You can also rock into this one a little bit if you like, if you find you're quite flexible. And if you're really flexible and you need a bit more, you can drop that hip down. Lowering that back leg. Then you're going to come into this pigeon stretch. So bending that leg out in front of you and keeping that back leg nice and in line. This is a great one for tight glutes. I also find that PNF is really nice in this one as well. So pushing that knee into the ground and resisting, and then relaxing and really breathing when you're doing this one. So pushing away for a couple seconds and then relaxing. All right, coming out of this one, we can come into our splits. Doesn't matter where you are with your splits, if it's here, if you're here, just gonna gently get ourselves into the splits position of where we're at. Really focus on keeping those hips nice and square. Then we're going to come out and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Straightening that leg out in front. And remembering you can do the pointing and flexing if that feels good, or you might enjoy just doing the static stretch. Grabbing that ankle and pulling it up to your bum. And then making sure you're really tucking that hip under. And then bending that knee in front of you and jumping into the pigeon stretch. Ooh, my glutes. At least this side anyway. And then coming out of that one, I'm gonna go into our front splits. Remembering it's okay wherever you're at with your splits progress. Make sure you're keeping those hips nice and square. And then coming out. Next, coming into a tabletop position. And we're just going to drop the tummy down and then curl through our back. Now we're going to drop back into a cat stretch. So keeping that bum, not letting it come down. And just letting our shoulders drop to the ground. Next, we're going to clasp our hands together, and we're going to take them over to one side and then lean our shoulders over in the opposite direction. Ooh, this is such a nice stretch. You can really roll into that side as well and get a bit of movement. And then we'll do the other side. And then coming back into the middle, we're going to bring one arm through. I'm going to straighten the other. With that arm that's on the ground, we're going to push and resist into the ground. Really get into that thoracic spine. And then coming up, and we'll do it the other side. So through. And then coming out. Next, let's do some wrists to finish us off. Doing little circles. This is a great warm-up to do before your handstands as well. And then we're going to flex our wrists and push them over. And then swapping. Just super gentle for this one to start with. You can move around a bit as well. We can then bring our hands down onto the ground and we can do some little circles on our wrists. Lots of cracks from me. And then we can do the same thing on the ground. Do fingers back towards us. Once again, being nice and gentle in this position. And then the other way, so the backs of our hands down. And then we can do some walking on our hands, just moving them through different positions. Alright, give your wrists a nice shake. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful to warm up before doing handstands, or if you just needed a really good stretch, please give this video a like because it really supports my channel, and hit the little notification bell to be notified whenever I release a new video. And I will see you guys next time. Bye. Does that look stupid? A plant just chilling in the corner. I want a plant in this video. Way too close. It looks really close to the colour of the ground. When the plane shuts the fuck up. We're back. We're back in action. Even though it feels worse. Our Pancake. Might have just deleted something important.